with the FIA as far as consistently being inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how long is it that the FIA is going to be consistently inconsistent. I'm trying to figure out how long is it going to be that the FIA are going to consistently ignore the things, the shenanigans, the problems, the unsafe conditions, the damn aggressiveness to the point that it is a safety issue. They are going to ignore the things that Max Verstappen does. That is what I'm trying to figure out. It is ridiculously crazy. It is something that I'm just trying to understand, like, how far are we taking this? A lot of drivers have already voiced their opinions, but it is getting to the point where it is so damn obvious that there has to be an agenda to not disturb or destroy or diminish or blemish Max Verstappen and Red Bull to a point where it is goddamn silly. It's damn silly. All right. Now, I'm just trying to see where things are going to be fair, where are things really going to match up. Now, I do know up until recently, we had them go ahead and put in place some new rules, right? So why is it that we come into Brazil and I'm watching a race, I'm watching a broadcast in which I see things that look very similar and are damn near the same as others, yet I don't see drivers being penalized for these situations? So I'm going to just start with a few different examples leading up to now where these things have stemmed from, and even before then, where problems have occurred. Okay, so first thing I want to go to is I want to go to the Lando situation with Max Verstappen 2022, which I did not see a document in which Max Verstappen was cited for that. Okay, there was a situation, and if you're not familiar with that situation, that would be in Japan during qualifying. Max Verstappen he does run Lando completely off track. Spider R35 says, so they changed the rule. Cars that are going slow or waiting to leave the pits have to stay left. Cars that want to overtake have to go right. Very good. Very good point. Very good point. But we're going to outline something. Because there's still a situation in there where things become unsafe and you have to say, is this a good idea? And if it is a good idea, are there certain lines that can't be crossed to the point where that shit right there, that's unsafe. That's unsafe. Okay. Like you can't erase some of this, some of that. And it seems like every time we come to Max Verstappen, there's a situation where they're changing these rules in order to fit or facilitate the shenanigans that Red Bull are pretty much Max Verstappen is doing. And this is no joke. This is not even a target. This is not something that I'm just making up. It's just an observation, okay? So I'm going to go with Lando, okay? 2022 Lando. Here's the situation. There you go. Max Verstappen clearly, look at him turn the steering wheel. I don't care if he broke loose or not. Max Verstappen clearly causes a situation on track that could have caused an accident or a collision of Lando completely running into the wall. But I will tell you right now, I didn't see one document where they even reviewed that. I didn't see one document where they even noted this, And this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. This dude literally runs another driver off track. He runs him off track, and they don't even summon him. Look at this. That's crazy. We've seen things that have looked like this season, and drivers have been penalized. Let's not forget Carlos, amongst so many other cars that did so many things wrong, was penalized. Meanwhile, Gasly causes a collision with his own team, Ocon and Alpine, and they don't even further an investigation. I don't care if it's in the team or not. We saw the similar thing with Mercedes and George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, and they still noted it. And matter of fact, they penalized Russell. They penalized him. So where is the penalty for Max? Where's the penalty for Max? We don't even have to stop there. Damn it. We don't even have to stop there. Will.i.am says, good evening, fam. Max drove through the pit lane like it was I-85. He was late for work. Say hi to the young Perez of the FIA. Another silly record. And we're about to go into that. We're about to go into that. That is something else we're about to go into. So let's get into this next thing that we can kind of just sit in and just talk about real quick. Let's just go to something even more recent, like the USGP. Let's go to the USGP. Does anybody remember the situation that took place in Texas this year at the USGP with Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc? Does anybody remember this? Anybody? Because I'm going to show it to you if you don't remember it. Because I'm telling you right now, I didn't see one note that they were going to investigate or they were going to call Max up for this situation. Let's look at this. This is crazy. Look at how far off track he runs Charles to get to the corner. That is crazy. We don't even see a note. We don't see a summons. We don't see how do you get away with doing something like that? How do you get away with doing something like that? There was no fine. There was no fine. There was no investigation. There wasn't even a document created to even explain like, hey, we saw what happened. This is what took place. Max, but there's nothing to explain that away from at least being noted and a document being created, whether he's going to get a reprimand or he's going to get penalized. And I'm telling you right now, there is no other reason that Max Verstappen runs Charles clearly off track into pit exit across a solid white line, damn near into the grass, other than to damn bully Charles out of position so that he can capitalize on the position. That is the only thing that Max Verstappen was doing, and the FIA are consistently taking this like it's nothing. They're consistently letting him get away with it. They're consistently rolling a slippery slope, more slippery, more icy, and more deadly. And now all of a sudden, you want to go ahead and penalize drivers, grid place penalties? Today, 3 drivers get grid place penalties? Where was the penalty for that? Okay, that's not enough. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and go back to the Dutch GP with Gasly. Okay, let's go back to the Dutch GP. We all know environmental circumstances were crazy. It was rainy. Things were happening. But let's just go ahead and take a peek at that. First thing, Max making contact with Gasly's car right there. That's contact. This is not a racing incident. This is not the first lap. That's contact. Was it noted? Not that I can recall. But then as we go further into this same race, not too long after this contact, Uno says, greetings, everyone. Sorry, Yam. My phone lost with the internet connection shut down. Cool, no problem, bro. I like the sprint was walk in the park and cut through others. Yes, facts. Baraka says the issue with the USGP incident is that Charles was never alongside Max at the start based on Charles's own board. Man, listen, Baraka, miss me with that, bro. You're going to have to miss me with that, bro. Miss me with this. You're not blind. He is clearly aside Max. You're not blind, bro. I don't care what your onboard. The onboard is so far up and looking forward. You can clearly see that if Charles does not give, Max is going to collide with Charles. If Charles doesn't give, Max is going to collide with Charles. Come on, bro. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We know that the onboard camera sits so far up. It's almost more than halfway up of the car, not to mention its view going forward. So it's not going to show you if his nose is right there, but you can clearly see that Charles is along at least halfway or at least just shy halfway of alongside Max. Why would Max do that if Charles is nowhere alongside him? He's clearly off the racing line. Max is not even on the racing line to take that corner correctly. Why would he do that if he knows Charles is not beside him to give him a run to the corner? Come on, bro. Come on, we're not going to fall for that. We're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Blue Diva, if so blatant that it is insulting the F1 fans, facts. Merck let us all down, period. They look like clown show, slowest car on the grid, no excuses whatsoever. I hear you on Max, but Merck look like clowns. They do. Gene, you're right. They do. They look like clowns because they didn't petition enough after 2021. They look like clowns because they laid down and they took it, and then they delivered a horrible car, not one, but 2 seasons back to back. They look like clowns because even in this season, unlike Aston Martin, they don't want to take paper and pen and petition some of the bullshit that has been thrown their way. They want to sit back and play this distinguished gentleman role to a fault. You cannot play this role with a team that is being given luxuries like Red Bull, like a distinguished gentleman. You're going to have to put your knife up and you're going to have to get out the extendo. That is what I'm telling you. You're going to have to get out the extendo and start acting like you really want to go full-fledged, full force. We're not taking disrespect of our drivers. We're not taking ridiculous ass penalties, not laying down. We're going to petition. We're going to submit the documents. We're going to fight it. We're not just going to say, okay, we'll get it next time. Merc, you got to step up. You got to step up with the extendo. Red Bull got the knives out. Matter of fact, Red Bull is bringing guns to a knife fight while you are coming to a knife fight with a pen. You're not even coming with a pen. You're coming with your bottle of water and you're saying, okay, all right, well, we'll try to do better. No, you need to do better. What you're doing is not doing better, and that's a fact. You got to dial it up, bro. So, yeah, not on that. So then right here we see Max ushers Gasly hella wide in the paint. Hella wide in the paint. Clearly, this is Max's MO, and we know this. They know this. Yet they can clearly keep overlooking this. Meanwhile, it's blatantly in our face week in and sometimes week out. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, okay, right there. We got, okay, the Dutch GP. Okay, cool. Let's go to something that isn't so bad, but definitely, it still shows a bit of Max. I'm going to give Max a little bit credit on this. I'm not credit. I'm not going to be as harsh of my critique on Max about this one, but it still shows his character, his mannerism on track, all right? So here we are, this hungry, pulling up, hey, Max goes wide. That right there to me, I really didn't see that as so bad. I didn't see it as so bad. By the time Max really gets wide, he does push a little wide. There is space there. But listen, I didn't see that as so bad. That wasn't so bad to me. That's one that I can let go. That's when I say, hey, that wasn't egregious. That's not egregious. So meanwhile, while I go ahead and get ready to lay the hammer down on Max, there's something that I'll put on the plate and say, hey, that wasn't so bad. I got to give them a little something because trust me, people are going to be crying in the comment section like crazy. That's what they do when they come here. But let's go ahead and go to another piece. Okay, let's go to something that was so damn egregious that it started in this season. It started in this season with the shenanigans. And now it has gotten worse in 2022. It's getting even worse in 2023. There are certain rules called the Max rule. They're making Max rules. Like, okay, Max is doing this. Let's change up the verbiage in the rules. Kind of, this is what he likes to do. So let's make the rules to kind of facilitate that and then go against this. All right. Let's go to something that is iconically known Max, run you off, where he gets his name like the shirt I wear, Crash Strapping and Mad Max. Let's check this out. Here it is. You all know we're in Brazil. Look at Max. Max is pushing so wide, his ass is off track. Max is pushing so wide, he opens up the steering wheel and pushes Lewis Hamilton off track. Are we going to ignore that? Are we going to say that, he didn't see him? Even on the onboard, he didn't see him? No, he opened his steering wheel up. He pushed Lewis Hamilton so damn wide, he even ran himself well into the Pirelli sign. That is egregious. Look at this. He's making another part of the track. I didn't even know you can make your own escape routes and then have it thrown into the circuit plans to be developed on the next lap. I think they literally came out and paved a Max escape route and put it into the plans right then and there. I've never seen somebody do road construction that fast. I live in Georgia, and I'm telling you, road construction on I-75 up north has been going on for like 5 years. I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're building. I'm trying to figure out, what are you building up there? I've never not seen highway construction here. It's crazy to me. This is what Max does. And then you want to have a lot of people excuse this. No, it's not excusable. And FIA, we have you to blame. You've let this get so far out of hand that now you have to cuddle him because you've created this. You've created a spoiled ass child in Max Verstappen, and it shows. And I can't stand people with spoiled ass children that can't even reprimand them or discipline them. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't even want you around. I don't want you around me. I can't even stand to be around your kid right now. This is crazy. I want to damn discipline him. I got to go. I can't be here. I got to go. This is what Max Verstappen gets. So listen, that's not enough. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's look at this. First of all, I will tell you that even in 2021, when Max Verstappen did that, there's not one document on. You know what document they did have? When Max Verstappen touched Lewis Hamilton's wing and got a reprimand and a fine for that. You have no business touching another car apart from it. He's an habitual line stepper. He's an habitual rule breaker. And they continue to allow this. This is the problem. Nothing there. And then let me tell you, the conversation, go back. If you have the ability to go back and watch this portion of the race, the conversation that takes place between Massey and Christian is so cringy. It is horrible. You can hear, oh yeah, there's nothing, don't worry. Go back and just listen to the commentary. It's like, is this shit serious? Are you seriously saying this? Like, we're not going to penalize that. That's okay. I'm telling you, it will piss you off when you listen to the conversation. And you can hear it in Christian's voice, like, yeah, thanks for, being in our pocket, buddy. Come on. After every GP, when Red Bull got ready to roll out, Christian Horner would open his pocket and Massey would hop in his pocket like Jimmy the Cricket. Like, here you go. Just hop in, Massey. I'm telling you, he was in the pocket. Galacticus, Max needs the belt for trying to crash, folks. He need it. Straight up facts. He needs it. So then, listen, we finna go. We're going to go to another Brazil because it seems like, the Brazil thing is just something that is just prevalent. It is just on like clockwork. We're going to go to Brazil 2022. Max, good old dive bombing Max. Look, okay, now, is anybody want to say that he didn't see him there? That he wasn't alongside him? That we can't see him in the onboard? Barack, are you my bro? Can you go back on the onboard on Max's car and see if he can see Lewis Hamilton's nose as they go into this turn? I believe that's turn 2. Can you go back and check that? Because I'm pretty sure he saw this and he had no business, but Max is going to put his nose in there. And what do we recall that Max Verstappen said in an interview there? I ruined his race. I didn't ruin mine. He ruined his race. I didn't ruin mine. That's his mind frame. That's his thought process. Max Verstappen's thought process is to wreck you out if he has to put you in a compromising situation where you're going to have to weigh finishing the race or damaging your car. Some people fail to a fault of not damaging the car, finishing the race. That's what Charles did. What Charles should have done is stand his ground, and then y'all would have seen that the car was alongside Max because Max would have got pit maneuver or you would have saw a collision. That's what Charles should have did. He shouldn't have yielded. Somebody's got to get the gonads and stand their ground and let Max consistently wreck them out so the whole world sees, what are y'all going to do about this? He's coming over on me. I'm not moving. Okay, we wrecked out. What are you going to do about Max? You going to let this shit keep going? Okay. Somebody's got to be the one. Somebody has to do it. Like at this point in time, you're losing more than you're winning. You're losing more than you're winning because you're going to consistently have to deal with this. You're going to allow this type of mentality and character. It's only going to get worse. And if you let it get so far out of hand, it becomes your fault. Drivers, it becomes your fault. FIA, it becomes your fault. Team principals of other teams other than Red Bull, it becomes your fault because you don't speak up about it, because you don't protest it. Don't give me the shit, oh, this is the way. Who else is acting like this on the track? Who else? You could probably say Russell 2.0 Max maybe, but Russell ain't even this bad. Jefferson, they couldn't find the onboard vid until the Monday. Right. They won't. They ain't going to come up with that. They're not going to come up with that. So then let's go to this. So here we are where things really start getting out of hand. Okay. Things start getting out of hand right here. Okay. So this whole situation with the pit lane, who does it really start with? Max Verstappen. Noting to the point where it's noticed by journalists, it's noticed by TV, it's noticed by commentators, it's noticed by us. This is where it kind of like really blows up and where things need to start getting corralled back in. But what did the FIA do? Nothing. Galacticus, FIA better stop Max before someone dies. And that's not even far-fetched what Galacticus is saying. That's a real concern. It's a real concern. The situation with Lando could have been bad. I mean, think about that. This situation with Lando could have been worse than it really was. It could have been bad. So what are we waiting for until, like Galactus says, somebody dies? So let's just check this. Here we go. Singapore. Max is just sitting on pit lane exit. Just sitting on pit lane exit like it's okay. Bro was just sitting there. 14 seconds or more, plus or minus a second or two. Max is sitting in pit lane exit for his own luxury and benefit to do nothing else but give him space so he can have a better lap. Finally, a document is created. Finally, a document is created about this. Like, when was it going to happen? I guess it was going to happen now. So finally, we have a document created, okay? Here it is, Red Bull, car number 1, Max Verstappen. Session is qualifying. Right here, DP Auto Haas says, go back to the year Max was leading and got punted off by Ocon. Situation was similar to Lewis. It's the way Max drives against Lewis. True. And that's when Max assaulted Ocon in the garage by pushing him, right? He called Ocon, what do you call him, a moron or something. And then he go and do pretty much the same damn thing. Bro, you're a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. Max is a hypocrite. Very good reference right there, DP Auto Haas. Nice to see you around again. So we go into qualifying. So here it is right here. Okay, he breaches, and then they reprimand the driver. The driver's first reprimand of the season. So pretty much this is a warning. We're letting you know this is not to be accepted. But if you see right here, they say driver stated he waited approximately 14 seconds to leave the pit lane exit to create a gap to cars in front. Now, this is what's funny to me. While the car behind one increased the gap to 12 seconds, no obvious advantage was gained by the driver in waiting at pit exit for what is deemed to be an extraordinary long time. What the Wait a minute. I don't even know how they justify that. How do they say this? While no obvious advantage was gained by the driver in waiting in pit lane exit for what is deemed to be an extraordinary long time. What are you talking about? Clearly there's an advantage. Other cars that are doing everything like it's supposed to be done are having to go by Delta or avoid traffic or deal with traffic while trying to do their qualifying laps. Max creates an advantage for himself by unfairly holding everybody up in pit lane, wasting their time so he can get the gap he wants because he's willing to wait that 12 to 14 seconds. That's an advantage. What are you talking about? That's an advantage. How is that not an advantage? That's an advantage in his right. That is ridiculous. And then they go to say right here, the potential for this to negatively impact other drivers warrants a penalty. Okay, but you didn't do it. You didn't issue a penalty. You gave him a reprimand. You didn't issue a penalty. So then let's go to something else. Let's go to something else. Because in this same race, in this same Singapore, this year, Max, here we go. Car number 1, Max Verstappen, right here as you see. Oracle Red Bull, right here as you see. Car 1, unnecessarily impeding car 22 between turn 3. We got 083 says, Sylvia Wick says, car on Lewis's head. He said that's what you get when you don't give room. Thank you, Sylvia Wick Kelly. In Monza, clearly did not have the corner. Goes through it anyway, hits the sausage curve because he can't do what everybody should be able to do, which is yield when you don't have it. So bullheaded. causes a collision. His car ends up on top of Lewis Hamilton. Thank goodness for the halo, which has already proven its weight in platinum by saving lives, including Grosjean's. Lewis Hamilton's neck is little than have contusions, but could have been broken. And what does Max do? Walk the hell off. Matter of fact, Max walked in the middle of the track. He didn't even get a fine for that. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton gets a fine. Now they revisit Lewis Hamilton and try to raise it to €1 million. But Max Verstappen walks in the middle of the track and doesn't even get a fine. It doesn't even get noted. 083, the FIA mental gymnastic is absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Galacticus, Monza car on Lewis said that that's what you get. That's what he said. Facts. Facts. So here it is. After Max has already held up cars in pit lane, here it is. He's impeding car 22 in turns 23. What does he get for this? A reprimand. So he impeded cars in pit lane, gaining an advantage. He impeded 22. Competitor is fined €5,000. This is the driver's second reprimand of the season. €5,000 and another reprimand for impeding. Okay, it seems like they don't want to punish Max Verstappen. A fine? Where's the grid drops? Where's the grid drops? This is what I'm waiting for to see what and when this is going to happen. The grid drop penalties. Okay, so then let's go ahead. If that's not enough, let's go ahead and go to this, because here's another situation that takes place. And here it is again. In Mexico, Max impeding pit exit again. Driving not only over the white line, may I add, but creeping slowly and impeding. There are a slew of cars behind Max right now. Max was not the only driver. Let me be very transparent in saying this. Max, Alonso, and Russell. But let me please tell you that I feel fully confident to say that had Max not been involved in this, Alonso and Russell would have been penalized. But because they didn't penalize Max, and guess what they said back in Singapore? They said we should have penalized Max. So why didn't you penalize him this time? That's my FIA. If you said in Singapore that you made a mistake, you said this, you made a mistake on not penalizing Max Verstappen for impeding the pit lane exit. You said you made a mistake. Yet you come to Mexico and you still don't penalize him for something you said you made a mistake on the first time, and you should have penalized him. You still don't penalize him. What's going on? What's going on? It doesn't look good. I can tell you that. It doesn't look good. And here you are consistently doing the consistently jacked up things. You jacked up in 2021 several times, and at the most biggest moment in Formula One history. It's going to go down. It's never going to be forgotten. Nobody's going to stop remembering it. It's always going to be brought up. It's going to be an asterisk. It's going to be a stain on Max's championship year. He was a cheat. They ran him off track. Then Michael Massey, Jonathan Wheatley, Christian Horner, Red Bull. It all is bad, and you admitted it's bad, and then you didn't go back and fixed it. You said you should have penalized Max Verstappen in Singapore for impeding. Here he does it again. In Mexico, you don't penalize him. OG Zilla. What happened to the FIA following the rules to the T with the whole jewelry thing against Lewis, but are so wishy-washy for everything else? FIA not being a good role model, now are they? Charles rolling in his grave, rest in peace. Charlie is rolling in his grave, rest in peace. It is bad. It's bad. I mean, they focused on so many foolish things, it's not even funny. By the way, hit like, because it don't cost you nothing. If you in here, hit the like button. All you got to do is click your mouse. It's that easy. Just click the mouse, hit the like button. 53 likes. It should be over 100 likes on this video already by now. Spider R35 says the FIA must stand for full ignorance applied. Yo, that's a good one. That is a good one. Besides for the MA put on FIA standing for mafia, full ignorance applied. That is a good one. Good job, Spider R35. I like that one. I like that one a lot. All right, so here it is. Well, Mexico, boom, he's creeping in pit lane, impeding, and they still don't penalize him. Why do we know this, that they didn't penalize him? Because we can look at it. We can look at it right here. Here it is right here. Max Verstappen, Oracle Red Bull, car one drove slowly, pit exit, and is doing so unnecessarily impeded the cars behind. So this is the third time he's impeding. But what don't you all see this time? In Mexico, now remember, Max has 2 reprimands for impeding already. He got 2 just in Singapore alone. Just in Singapore alone. Not to mention the other times he's impeded on track the other Red Bull team in AlphaTauri. He's got 2 reprimands already. Why is it that there is a document clearly seeing that he impeded the pit lane in Mexico, but no reprimand? What's up with that? 083 says, it all boils down to this. The FIA has never had a good relationship with integrity. That's another very good quote right there. That's a very good statement. So there it is. No reprimand, but yet he's impeding. The stewards note particular the evidence of the driver car 1, 14, and 63. Now, they want to put everybody's number on here. They want to try to group them all together to make Max Verstappen not look so bad and do all this. It was also particularly noted that the race director accepted that these contrary requirements exit. All parties, including stewards, are firmly of the view that it's better to have the potential car backing up in the pit lane are in the pit exit instead of potentially dangerous situation of large speed differences on track. Here they go, making up a bunch of hogwash. Okay, are you shitting me? Did anybody forget that Red Bull have the fastest car on the grid? Likely, like Lando said, have the fastest car in Formula One history. Are you shitting me with this whole statement of speed differences? Stop it. You sound ridiculous. And this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is a slippery slope, and they just keep on sliding down it. They just keep on sliding down this slope. Okay, so listen, then we come up to this situation. Here it is right here. Now, here's Gasly, right? We got Gasly. Gasly in the situation, coming down pit lane exit. And what does he do? Boom. Now, Gasly gets over to the right to avoid an incident, crosses the white line. So-called earlier Gasly was driving. I didn't even see any real cars like that behind Gasly. But what does Gasly get? What does Gasly get? We already know, we talked about Russell and Alonso getting their Russell and Ocon getting situations. But then we got also Ocon gets a situation in Brazil as far as an impeding situation right here. Esteban Ocon from Alpine qualifying. Car 31 was driving slowly in the pit exit and was not as far to the left as possible. Okay, not far as left as possible. All right, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. First of all, let's just go here and check out these race director notes. As you notice, telling you where the practice starts are going to be. We're going to come right on down to here. Lines at pit entry and pit exit. Right here, it gives us an appendix, which is L, which is Lima, chapter 4, article 4 and 6. Okay, article 4 and 6. So we're going to look at this article 4 and 6. We're going to see what it outlines. What does it tell us? What does it say that they do or don't want to see? Okay, and now, mind you, it says drivers must follow the procedures at pit entry and exit. Right there, it says must. Okay, it says must. Must. That's not an option. It's not an option. For safety reasons, drivers must keep to the left of the solid white line at the pit entry when they are entering the pits, period. Okay, so you're not supposed to be crossing this white line right here. This white line, this white, solid white line, you don't cross that. You're not supposed to cross that. Solid white lines, you don't cross. Hold on. What's going on, baby? No, what is it? You need to talk fast because I'm on a live. What do you need? What do you need? Okay, baby. Love you too. Always a dad all the time, and I ain't gonna I'll put this on pause before I put her on pause. So she's safe, so we're gonna wait. So as you see right here, solid line. You're not supposed to cross that. These bollards, you're not supposed to do that. So we're gonna take a look right here, all right? Drivers must stay left. We're not supposed to cross this. All right, we're not supposed to mess with these. Okay, now we're going to take a look. Jefferson says, remember they tried every means and failed to stop Lewis Hamilton. Now they believe with help from the governing body, Max will surpass Schumacher before Lewis Hamilton does. And that's where things are heading. That's where things are looking like they're heading. This right now is looking so egregious. The manufacturing of this champion is already faulty. You manufactured a championship in 2021 for Max Verstappen. You baked it up. You baked it up. You did. You admitted you did. You admitted what the result. You admitted that the result was errored, that it was false, that the rules, regulations were not followed. Therefore, the result is false. And you failed. No, you rejected. You said you weren't going to go back and fix what you did wrong. You clearly were wrong. In these situations, people don't realize it now because they're so up Max Verstappen's asshole. But in the future, when Max is talked about, when all of the hype in the RB19 and RB20 is over, these things are going to rise to the surface like oil in the sea. They're going to rise to the surface and they will always be talked about. Well, Max really didn't win in 2021. That was faulty. Well, Red Bull breached the cost cap 2022. They cheated. 2023 was okay, but damn, how did he do everything he did and didn't get penalized to the point where it affected him like other drivers? Drivers actually started talking up against the fact that why is this driver not penalized like other drivers? These things are going to rise to the top. And all you delusional ass Max Verstappen fans, trust me, it's going to stay that way. Did the Alonso situation go away? Did Crashgate go away? No. 2008 Singapore go away? No. Did illegal fuel in Sauber go away? No. BMW Sauber go away? No. The situation with Schumacher, as great as he is and being a 7-time champion tied with Lewis Hamilton, does his blemishes go away? No. Even in his absence and in his family, big shout out to him and wish you well, they don't go away. These things don't go away. They only get risen to the top as time goes over because people start reflecting and they get out of the wow of a fast car, out of the wow of some winning, and they start reflecting like, damn, wait, you know that actually was foul. I mean, Schumacher basically raked Damon Hill on purpose, claimed to have amnesia to win a championship. Senna, rest in peace, unfairly treated and suspended because Prost had a fucking relationship. These things don't go away. You want them to go away. You want to try to insult people and be aggressive to people to make them feel like they don't know anything because you want to hide and cover up. You're part of the bullshit. Uno says Max also ran Lewis off track and instead he jumped track and should give a place back, but never got demoted on points. FIA are in Red Bull's pocket. That's what we're talking about, brother. That's what we're talking about. So let's go ahead and go to this appendix. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. So as you see right here, chapter 4, all right, in Lima, entrance to the pit lane. So as you see, it says section leading into pit lane road, blah, blah, blah. But if you see, except any driver intending to exit the track and enter the pit lane must make sure it is in a safe to do so. It makes sure that it is safe to do so. Make sure that it is safe to do so. Keep that in mind. 083 says, don't forget Michael Massey did sign an NDA. Why do you need an NDA if there's nothing really to admit? You sign NDAs because there's things people don't want you to tell, things they don't want you to let out. Trust me, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. So right there, you see that, right? Okay. Remember 4 and 6. All right. 4 and 6. So as we go down here, here's 6. Here's 6 for you. Exit from pit lane. All right. Now, as you see right here, it talks about the green light, which we all see, which green light was green when Max was holding up pit lane. It was green. He should have been going. Okay. All right. He can exit. But if you see right here, except in cases of force or unless otherwise defined by the race director, if appointed or clerk of the course, any part of a tire of a car exiting the pit lane must not cross any line painted on the track for the purpose of separating cars leaving the pit lane from those on the track. For the avoidance of doubt, crossing means that the outside of any tire should not go beyond the outside with respect to the pit lane of the relevant line painted on the track. Relevant line painted on the track. Let me show you these lines, okay? These are lines. These solid ass lines you see, these are solid ass lines, all right? These are solid ass lines. These solid lines you see, these are solid lines, especially this one. This is a no-no. But let's talk about the unsafe portion. Unsafe, all right? We're talking about unsafe. Let's talk about unsafe. So first of all, here we go with a guy who's multiple times impeded, been reprimanded multiple times, and here Max goes, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute. Does this, so I got to ask y'all, I got to ask you this, okay, so that happens, right? That happens. We're about to do this. I just want to know, when this happens, does Max not cross the white, I mean, he crossed white line right there. Well, shit, he owned it again right there. Oh, but don't worry, if that's not good enough for you, you know what I'm saying? If that's not as egregious for you, don't worry, I got something for you. Don't worry, I got something for you. If that ain't egregious, because that might not be nothing to you. That might not, that might be, that ain't nothing. That's shenanigans right there. Okay, we'll pack that shenanigans. That ain't really nothing, man. Okay, cool. That ain't really nothing. Okay, so how about this? Is that something? You gonna tell me that ain't nothing too? Are you gonna tell me that ain't nothing? Dude clearly is completely over the white line, and that's unsafe. It's already wet. What if he dropped the tires, the car ended up spinning, he hits that car, and now there's a collision backed up in pit lane? This is the shit I'm talking about. You're letting Max Verstappen get away with so much. He thinks he can do things like this. You know what? And there's not even a document for that. There's not even a document for that. And while they listed that, there were circumstances that lead to that, you also said that there were circumstances that led to excessive plank wear in the USGP, but yet you didn't reprimand these drivers. You disqualified Lewis Hamilton and Charles. Although you said that, but it's the onus of the team. It's Max Verstappen's responsibility not to do that. You reprimanded him twice. Then you didn't want to do it a third time. Why you think they didn't want to do it a third time? Why you think they didn't want to reprimand Max a third time? Why you think that? Why do you think that? Because they don't want to really penalize Max. That's why. They don't really want to penalize Max, and that is part of the problem. This is getting very, very ridiculous. It's getting very ridiculous. In my opinion, I'm tired of seeing it, and it's getting ridiculous. They're making it worse for themselves, and they're going to end up being a situation, and I hope it's not. I do hope that a situation does not occur to the point where somebody's life is either compromised or taken. But if it does happen, I wouldn't love, because I don't want to say I love anything that can't love me back. I would like to see the FIA get that shit sued out of them. Because I think hitting them in the pocket so deeply is the only thing that's going to make them say, we can't do this shit anymore. Like, this is, maybe people need to go to jail for negligence if something happens. I mean, is that what y'all want, FIA? Is that what you want? Is that what you're looking for? You're taking it very lightly right now until something horrible happens, and then you're going to look stupid. You're going to get caught with your pants down, and I hope somebody has a big spiky board with leather tassels, and when they spank your ass, you get it good. Because you are creating the situation for yourself. You're building an environment where this is likely to happen. Max Verstappen thinks he can get away with doing shit like this, and that's supposed to be okay. That's not okay. That's not okay. Think about it. He was all fine and dandy. Now y'all make a rule where, oh yeah, Max, you can just, blast by traffic, bro. You want to go slow and, we impede traffic. Well, okay, we'll go ahead and do that, and then let Max, he could drive by. No, this is bullshit. Max was the one holding people up. And then if somebody had passed him, then now we're talking about, oh, and don't forget the video where Max was doing that already. Lewis Hamilton tries to go around, and Max turns the steering wheel like he's going to hit him. No even reprimand for that. Do y'all remember that? Max is impeding pit lane to the point where it almost looked like his car was broke down. Lewis Hamilton goes around and he turns the steering wheel like he's gonna hit him. They don't even know that. They don't summon him. Y'all are letting Max get away with way too damn much. Way too much. So that is all I got to say. I am about to go and take the little one for ice cream. You know, even though it's getting cool, she likes ice cream. We're about to go do that. We got a race to watch tomorrow. We're going to be here live for the race highlights. So make sure you're here to join us. We're going to be in there talking all the good stuff and going over the race. And also big shout out to Jefferson, which is our latest VIP member, and Insure Frames, which also won his 4th Quality Kickback Trivia Games. And we'll get to spin the wheel tomorrow for a $50 or $25 Visa gift card. Congratulations to you, Jefferson. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be not. Damn. Boom. Boom. That was solid, bro. Jefferson, that was solid, bro. That is a good one. I like that one, bro. I like that one. So listen, y'all stay up. Y'all be safe. Y'all go ahead. Enjoy your day. Don't let nobody rain on your parade if you can help it. And I will see you all here tomorrow. We back in it. Another race weekend. We're going to see how this goes. All right, Wolfpick out. Peace.